Bros, I am once again down with the sickness here, which is bad for me, but, I kind of get that nice deep voice in the morning here. But don't be afraid of a little intellectual discourse. If I do a rant video, with opinions on things, then people proffer their own opinions, and you know what? That's great, dude. Let those opinions bounce around in your mind. See if there's any proof in the pudding, you know what I'm saying? Any truth hiding amidst the rancor. It's the stone upon which you sharpen the sword of your own assertions. Anyways, we have an excellent reprint set coming out. I much prefer this to the Master series, in which Wizards feels justified in charging a premium for what is essentially the same amount of cards in a box, right? Innistrad Remastered. They're bringing us back to our favorite plane, at least my favorite plane. The art here is spot on. The atmosphere, the contextual storytelling. Let's see if there's anything good here, but first, hit that subscribe button, buddy. Join the Discord. Hit up the Patreon. We have memberships below with early videos. You get to be the first to comment. And guess what? No corporate dark money here. No backroom massage sessions with Zuckerberg here, buddy. And that's thanks to the patrons. So this time around, they're just doing play and collector boosters. The regular, showcase, and retro frame cards are going to be in both, but the poster treatments are only in the collector boosters. Oh well, so sad. You won't get this really funky looking Edgar Markov, which I think is hideous. Hard to read and just generally goofy. I like Edgar with his boys, man. He's got to have 6 handsome muscular dudes dress him every single morning. Bro, I look around my house, no dudes dressing me. What the heck, man? Anyway, he's back. Great. Eminence Boy is back, dude. The poster child for broken Eminence abilities. But you know what? I like him. I like his style. Not this, though. Or this. Weirdly, they're also bringing back MSRP, Manufacturer Suggested Retail Price. The MSRPs for Innistrad Remasters will be as follows. Remastered, rather. Play boosters are going to be $6.99. Collector boosters, $29.99. Remember when I said they feel justified in charging more for master sets? Well, this seems to be a lot, in my opinion. These play boosters only have 14 cards, man. What's going on? Oh, but Nikki G, you say, there's a chance for more rares and mythics. Well, that chance is very small. As far as I can see, it's 1 to 3%. It's kind of hard to tell though, man. They really obfuscate what's in the packs. I think they do this intentionally. Anyways, buy singles. And there are some singles to watch, and old Nikki G is here to tell you, brother. It looks like we're getting a reprint of these lands too, man. They enter tapped unless you control 2 or more other lands. So these are your turn 3 lands in most, in most decks. Just really nice duels. These got pricey, most of them, really quick. Nice pickups once they get into the wild though, for sure. And of course, Faithless Looting. Just stick this in every red deck pretty much. Even more so if you've got Graveyard Synergies. It's a staple for me. Lets you see a lot of cards. Blood Artist. This guy gets some new art. Wah, wah, wah. Probably not my favorite Blood Artist art out there. Whatever, man. Infernal Grasp. So this is 1 in a blue, instant. Destroy target creature, you lose 2 life. Look at this gorgeous card, man. Art is phenomenal. Glad this is getting a reprint. It's an excellent, efficient removal option. And this was a $2 uncommon. Now this card has been a centerpiece in every Reanimator deck I've made since it came out. Hullbreaker Horror. 5 blue. Creature Kraken Horror. It's a 7/8 with flash. Spell can't be countered. Whenever you cast a spell, choose up to 1. Return target spell you don't control to its owner's hand. Return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. It's got some gorgeous new art. It's a combo machine. If you have some Everflowing Chalice and Soul Ring out there, just return everything, my dude. If I could do it all over again, I would marry Hullbreaker Horror. Now they are sneaking in some cheeky reprints. Not as part of the main set, but they're going to be these little retro frame cards and stuff like that. Going to be pretty rare as far as I can tell. These retro frames. Craterhoof, prime example. This card, man, is about $30. Excellent finisher, but I think it's a bit overblown. You need a semi-big board, but, maybe my friends run more board wipes than most groups. And brother, I love me some Morbid Opportunist. This card is incredible in your decks running instant speed sacrifice outlets, but it also just benefits when, Ted Smampson over there skull clamps his little tune box. Whenever one or more other creatures die, draw a card. Only triggers once each turn though. Cathar's Crusade, great card, also a bit of a combo machine. Great in counters decks, especially green and white creature-based counters decks. It's just a house of a card with new art. It's like a $10 card, man. Nikki G is going to be watching this one for sure. See where the price goes. Alright, listen man, say someone had never seen this card before. How difficult is this to read, figure out what's going on? I'm probably overblowing this because we all have cell phones with images we can just pull up of the regular card. You know, I generally like the art, but the templating really makes me nuts. In any case, this is a $40 card. It's a house in those same Sacrifice Aristocrat decks. It really is a monster card, dude. XBB. When this thing enters, each creature gets -X until end of turn. Whenever a creature you control dies, each opponent loses 1 life. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, you gain 1 life. Crazy, man. I love this card. I can't afford it. I'm going to write Meatball Massacre on a swamp and call it a day. The Tireless Tracker's back has landfall. Whenever a land you control enters, investigate. Whenever you sack a clue, put a +1/+1 counter on this guy. I am not the hugest fan of this card. It's quite good though. Like just good enough to slot in the landfall decks. I think clues are fine. I think this card's mid, yet I slap it in every landfall deck I ever make and it overperforms. I'm probably just wrong on this. It's probably really, really good. In any case, it's like 30 cents. I can be wrong sometimes, you know. Second Harvest is 2 green. For each token you control, create a token that's a copy of that permanent. I own like 4 of these cards. I never look twice at it, and yet it's a $7 card. This can be a real blowout, but like Craterhoof, it relies on a pre-baked board. Also counts treasures and clues and foods and stuff like that. You know, it's a pretty good card, man. Hopefully this knocks the price down a little bit, but again, you need that pre-baked board. Labman, he took his hat off. Dude, I wish he'd take his shirt off. Looks like Frederick Douglass out there. It's a deep cut from the 1800s. Listen, this is an achievable win condition. It's a combo piece. It's like $5 to $6, and this is going to knock it down. Tremendously underrated board wipe here. Vanquish the Horde. It's typically 2 freaking mana. Has our boy Odric looking like a young Obi-Wan Kenobi out there in a pile of corpses. Get some new art, you know, with an angel with a nice hat. Alright, I like it. I'm impressed. This card is phenomenal in token decks. It's very efficient ramp. I love this in decks utilizing little Eldrazi spawn, which is also flavorful. Those little twinks start tapping, buddy. Cryptolith right, 1 in the green. Creatures you control have tap, add 1 mana of any color. And the Gravecrawler is back, man. He's a 2-card combo in a bunch of decks. I use this in Verena Zombies, which also coincidentally has a Phyrexian altar and an Altar of Dementia. It's gotten a few reprints, and every time it does, it comes down a little bit. I've always been a fan of these soul bond creatures, but this guy takes the cake. He's been a staple for a long time. He's gone full apparition here, the Deadeye Navigator. Soul bond with a Peregrine Drake, you got infinite mana, brother. And you know I got a wheel, man. It's an addiction for me. I gotta go to the casino, I gotta spin the wheel, buddy. And that's Reforge the Soul. Has 3 red sorcery. Each player discards their hand, draws 7 cards, has Miracle for 1 and a red. $6 to $7. Tremendously useful card in your wheel decks. I love the art, man. It looks like an inspirational Facebook post that a lady makes after she gets divorced and puts some kind of little quote under. She rose from the ashes. Yes, she did. Oh my god, dude. Whether you like Cultivator Colossus or hate it, this art is unbelievable. This fella's kinda nuts in your landfall decks. I believe it combos with Abundance too. Rooftop Storm, crazy card for your zombie decks. You may pay 0 rather than pay the mana cost for zombie creature spells you cast. Another Gravecaller combo machine if you have a sacrifice outlet like Altar of Dementia. I love the new full art, man. Very rad, very pretty. If you like fleshy zombies, which of course, I do. Do you have a vampire deck? Well, this fella is the Liam Neeson of vampires. He's got a very particular set of skills, and those skills are strictly sexual. The Captivating Vampire. So this guy is a 2/2. Other vampires you control get +1/+1. Fantastic. Tap 5 untapped vampires you control. Gain control of target creature. Becomes a vampire in addition to its other types. This was $12, and this full art looks like a damn R&B act from 1986. Millie and Vampire Nilly. And speaking of vampires, we got the Bloodline Keeper. 2 black, creature vampire, has flying. Has tap, create a 2/2 black vampire creature token with flying. Has black, transform it. Activate only if you control 5 or more vampires, which you will. And he transforms into the Lord of Lineage, big old 5/5 with flying. Other vampire creatures you control get +2/+2. Also has tap, create a 2/2 black vampire creature token with flying. So also has some convoluted combos, Necrotic Ooze combos with Triskelion and Grim. or it's just a phenomenal value piece in vampire decks. It's another one that I own a few copies of with no place to put them outside Edgar. Gets the Lenny Kravitz treatment here in the showcase as well. Let's get back to the zombies with Necro Duality or Necro Duality if you want to get French with it. 3 in the blue for an enchantment. Whenever a non-token zombie you control enters, create a token that's a copy of that creature. So I use a lot of reanimator effects. This is an ETB. Whenever it enters, not a cast trigger. So blink the zombie. Gravecrawler loops. Reanimator effects. Incredible. It's like $12. Now this kind of comes straight out of left field because it's not an Innistrad card originally, but the Hermit Druid. 1 in a green, creature, human druid, it's a 1/1. Has green and tap, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a basic land card. Put that card into your hand and all other cards revealed this way into your graveyard. I gotta tell you, man, I miss the Momoa out there. Looks like you got an old movie poster version and he got really old in that, dude. Looks kind of generic, man. I don't know. I do love this card though in your self-milled decks. It's quite a pricey card, man. Hopefully that reprint brings it down a little bit. But I also love this card. Great in those huge tribal decks like Demons. Heartless Summoning. Looks like 80s night after the bar I used to work at after 5 a.m. 1 in the black for an enchantment. Creature spells you cast cost 2 less to cast. Creatures you control get -1/-1. Now you know how I feel about Gisa, man. And she's over there in her black wedding dress brandishing her shovel. What a foxy lady. Come on, this is perfect for her. Alright, this guy's already like 30 cents, but I like the new art. Grim Corpse Born. 3 blue and a black. Legendary creature, zombie warrior. It's a 5/5. This guy enters tap, doesn't untap during your untap step. Sack another creature, untap it, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Whenever this guy attacks, destroy target creature defending player controls, then put a +1/+1 counter on it. Look at this monster, dude. He's bulking up. Forever bulk, brother. I just want to look at that diesel new art. Look at the werewolf skewered on his big meat hook. Look at it, I said. This beautiful lady's getting a reprint Sigarda, Host of Herons. 2 green and a white. For a legendary creature, Angel, it's a 5/5 for 5 mana. Flying, hexproof. Spells and abilities your opponents control can't cause you to sacrifice permanents. Great Devotion yields great reward. Excellent Voltron with native hexproof and flying. This is classic Sigarda, man. Gorgeous card. Hopefully this knocks this price down to bulk price for us budget bros out here. Overall, the set is packed with value. The land cycle's good, great for Commander, and I hope this is widely opened. The last 2 sets they did this with, Ravnica Remastered, Dominaria Remastered, we saw a lot of drops in prices, man, and that's what I'm looking for here. I ended up with some pretty cheap boxes over time too. For some reason, I don't know why, man. I don't know. Let's see what happens. I'll probably revisit this, see if I can snag some sweet deals after release and the weeks after release, pass them on to the Hyena Pack out there. Nikki G, Better Commander, signing off.